Just say you hate me then.
What? Yawn.
Huzzah. Mike, we can't hear you.
Wait, what?
Sherry just sent me a
Oh.
message saying that you can't hear Mike.
All right. I got about 2 more attempts of Video Ninja in me before I blow a gasket.
Device condenser. Okay. How about now? Because it just went to red line, so I think it's probably good.
We got it. We got it.
Okay, good. I screwed it up the first time, anyways.
Oh, wait.
We are
Wait. She's typing.
good.
Good.
Yes! Yes! Huzzah! Thank you, Sherry.
Yeah, I think I'm pulling a trigger on something soon. There than I planned. All right, welcome to the Society for Exploration and Adventure presents the Guild, episode 12, Letters from Home. I'm your DM tonight, Rory Mikes. With me is Eric, John, Mac, and Marshall. Ben will be joining us later. Knock on wood, at least. Who would like to recap last session?
Oh boy, did we have a fun time. Most of last time was spent going out with a group of villagers from Good Hope
That's right.
to get some lumber to fix up the parsonage and the chapel. Which went relatively smoothly. We did a little bit of conspiracy work. And kind of got it figured out what we think we're dealing with. Basically, that the waves from the Angel Stones have gone out as far as they can, and now they're colliding back in on themselves, and that's causing shit to go haywire. Verity realized that they could send a letter because they had a bird token. So that was something they worked on that day. And then, golly, and then yeah, lots of learning how to cut down wood.
Yeah.
And then we fought wolves, wargs.
After our long discussion and theory crafting, we were attacked by a lot, and
just stood still here.
yes, we have come to the conclusion that we need hand signals for Alice's splash situation she's got going on over there. Other than that, it went pretty well. Went pretty well, and we ended after that fight. But the highlights were the unconfirmed but pretty solid revelation about the nature of the Angel Stone's fields and how they interact with each other. And yes, the bird token.
That was reached by Damien.
Long shot bird token messaged back to the guild, hoping we can get in contact with them soon, but who knows? Right now, next steps are to follow up on this lead that we have, particularly with the founding date of Good Hope.
All right. We will pick up moments after the fight ended. Around you, Brigitte, Karen, Sardan, and Diggory are all pretty much unhurt. Several of them had taken damage in the fight, but Damien's positive energy burst had corrected that. However, Tedwin and Ellis are damn near dead. Ellis is, or both of them are sitting on the ground. They're covered in like large bite wounds from the wargs and are pretty much, the bleeding has stopped, but they've lost a lot of blood.
Well, I have 3 Cure Light Wound potions to hand out.
And I am slowly shrinking down back to my normal size of 7 foot tall, and I'm lying down, fatigued in a pool of my own vomit.
All right, gang. Hey, let's sit. We've got this thing, and Damien's gonna kind of reach through the bag of holding and pull out the Angel Stone shards, or the Angel Stone shard. We've got this thing. It can heal us. Everyone, come to camp. I'll put it down. And then he's gonna turn around, and see Dominic, so he's gonna walk up, put it in next to the fire. Walk up back to Dominic.
Help me out.
All right.
It doesn't.
No, you stay on the ground.
It doesn't
He's gonna
heal
hook
us.
him under the armpits. He's gonna pull him back. Well, no, it's a normal night's rest. So he's gonna put his
Yeah.
arms under his armpits. He's gonna pull him back. Here you go, big guy. Come
I need
on.
water.
Yeah, we've got water over there. Come on, big guy.
Did you bring a
All right.
toothbrush?
I don't know if you brought your toothbrush. There's the stream. You go to the stream. Gargle.
All right, so you take the Angel Stone out. You set it down. You concentrate on it for a minute. And then you feel just like a... and then the whole camp out to about 20 feet. So big enough to cover all the tents and everything, even a little bit of the wood that you've chopped so far, has covered... you can't see it, but like you hear that buzz, like
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
of the angel song, and you're safe. Diggory is like, yeah, so we're going back tomorrow, right? We'll stay here overnight, and then when the sun's up, we're going back to the village.
We gotta finish this.
Bullshit.
What do you mean bullshit?
Bullshit. Tedwin and Ellis are almost dead.
Yeah, they'll be healed.
How much more do we need?
I think 1 more day of labor. I believe you said.
Yeah.
How long is
We
this thing
just
last
1 more
again?
day. It doesn't make sense for us to give up now.
Well, you chop the
You'll
wood
be
your
safe.
goddamn self, because I have a family to provide for.
And your family will be provided for.
You know,
We're sorry that
With a great deal of
those
gold.
got the best of us a little bit, or that we allowed you to be harmed. It won't happen again.
you're right, because we're going to go back to the village in the morning.
All of you, though, or just the injured?
All of us. Right, boys? Give me diplomacy checks.
Ooh, this is the one thing I'm good at. Knowing this, I will roll a 2.
Can I try anything with this, or I haven't said anything yet?
You haven't said anything yet.
Yes! 23.
All right.
Keep you safe, don't worry. I healed you for a reason, and you will be healed again upon the night.
Tedwin is... Leave off of it, Diggory. They healed us. I'm sure they'll heal us the rest of the way. None of us died.
And sleeping here gives us everything back fully, like a long rest, right?
Yep.
Okay, so before bed, because I know healing isn't 100%, so before bed, I'm going to lay on hands, whoever the most injured person was.
Diggory's at 1 hit point. Or, excuse me. Tedwin's at 1 hit point. Ellis is at 2.
So I'm going to lay on hands Diggory, and then I'm going to actually I'm gonna lay on hands specifically the one who complained.
Well,
And
the
then
one who
I'm
complains
going-
at full health.
Oh, perfect. So one of the injured guys then. And
Yeah.
then I'm going to,
Tedwin's the one who came to your defense, and he was almost, even though he's almost dead.
So I'll do it to him, and then after that I'm going to channel divinity everyone as well, because I have 3 left.
Okay.
So that is lay on hands. That is 7. Wait, is that right? Yes, that's 7. And then for everyone
2d6.
everyone gets 10.
All right.
So everyone heals 10, and he specifically heals 7 on top of that.
So that's enough to take Tedwin almost back up to full, and Ellis is about halfway there.
Do his like
And then
wounds
Alice
actively
did also
close up?
pass out potions of cure light wounds, she said.
All right. So let's say that one more potion will put Ellis just about there too.
Yeah, it should be 8 points for that.
Yeah. And
Do not worry, brothers. The light of Pelas heals you.
Karen and Birgitta are like, holy shit. Because you're right. Like, literally, like, Tedwin's laying there on the ground. He's pale. He's in shock. He's almost dead. And then, like, you watch, like, yeah, like, the wounds just, like, magically close.
Wolverine close.
Like, the reddish color returns to his body, and you know, in moments he's like standing up like nothing had ever happened, except for like the blood on his clothes.
It's through the light of Pelas that this is possible. It's why we need the supplies. We need to fix the church and rebuild it to bring others to see the light.
Also potions.
Yeah, and just guild training in general.
But also
That's what we
following
do
the
at
divine
the
path,
guild.
following the divine path of the fallen angel, or the sacrificial angel, Sanctus
And the
Pelas.
potions.
You are all
And the-
welcome.
and the,
you
like,
you are
the
all welcome to come
guild
to my
training.
religious ceremonies.
Give me another diplomacy check.
This is
Okay, what are the odds I roll 12 twice?
conversion check.
Ooh, 23 again.
Very good.
All right. Later that night, Birgitta comes and sits with you, and she says, "Can you tell me more about Pelas?"
What? Yes. Yes, Pelas. He's, so when the cataclysm happened, he was an angel, of those who fought back the evil, and when dire moments happened, it was he who convinced the others to sacrifice the celestial palace to defeat the great evil and provide us all with the safety of the angel stones and the protection, the effervescent protection of their power. And it is through that sacrifice that we recognize his strength and understand that one day he will come if we continue supporting him, continue making the world a better place through our own sacrifice, through our own sense of duty. He will come back and free us from the hellscape of monsters that we found ourselves surrounded by.
I've never
He
heard
believes
that.
It is duty.
I thought the guild was responsible
Love
for the
and
angel
sacrifice.
stones.
No, it came from the gods themselves, notably Sanctus Pelas.
Oh.
The guild is merely the way through which we distribute them. It is merely an institution of man, not divine.
I see. Did you say love? She says, and she puts her hand on your knee.
In like a family kind of love, but not the Good Hope family kind of love. It's, like the love between a mother and a child. You guys don't do that, right?
No. I see.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, so it's like the
She-
love between like he is our holy older brother, if you think about it.
She takes her hand
Father,
back,
whatever.
embarrassed.
It's all right. I understand. It is. I would love to see you come to church and practice with us. And by us, I mean me, because no one else believes in this. It's just me.
Well, I would certainly like to hear more.
Thank you.
When is church?
Hmm? Oh, whenever I have time. The adventuring takes priority, but whenever I'm in town, I will try to do a service every week.
On what day?
That's why we're getting all the wood. It's to fix up the church so more people can come in without the roof caving in on everyone.
What is Pellis's holy day?
You know, it's the day of sacrifice, probably Monday. You gotta sacrifice that bread to, you know.
I will bring a loaf with me when I come to your next service.
Thank you, sister. May Pellas be with you. It's not actually the cross. It's supposed to be like a spear signal. I guess he grabs his partisan, stabs it in the ground. May Pellas be with you.
After she leaves, I'm assuming our tents are like next to each other. That's why I was like,
Alright,
trying. But
well-
I'm just like, dude, she was totally hitting on me.
Normal voice time.
Yeah, what is this accent you're doing? Also,
Oh, it's like supposed to be holy. Like, oh, I'm a paladin. I'm a defender of the faith.
well,
I'm here to
we've been
protect the
living
world.
there for like a while. They know you.
Yeah, I
don't
know,
talk
but
like that.
it's like I'm divinely inspired. You know,
I see,
it's
like
like
the
a-
voice of
yeah.
what's his face
He
coming
speaks
through
through
you.
me. What? What's his face?
Did he say, "What's
Talked
his face"?
about him for
I'm
years.
fucking.
You should stab
What's
him.
his
You should
face?
stab him hard.
I'm
Like, not hard enough to
I'm
kill
not-
him, just like
What?
enough to make sure that he
What?
like, remembers Pellis.
Dude, she was like totally into you.
Who isn't? Am I right?
Like, come on. I mean, what do you think? Was it like? Are you good? Like, you should go for it. Wait, how old is she? And how old is she in the middle?
Oh, probably early 30s.
No. No, I take it back. It's
You
kind
like
of weird.
mommy issues? Or
No, it's kind of like honestly, kind of
is
tough
she
look.
cute?
Tough look for her.
Is she
Honestly,
cute?
we're like 18. This is. Should we tell Belinda?
I'm in state of I'm consenting.
You are.
But, I don't know. I'm scared of women.
Do you want? Well, I heard this. She's gonna bring bread to the church
Yes.
tomorrow. Do you want me to be there, like
No,
in the
I'm sure
corner,
it'll be
acting like
fine.
I'm doing something? Or are you
She
good?
seems to deal with consent quite well. I'm not concerned.
That's not the issue. Just like
Hang on, a pleasant no. No, she doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be- Sorry. Wait. Yeah, it should be fine. Doing the wrong voice again. Oh, it should be fine.
Did you actually
No, you're good.
forget that you were doing it?
Yeah, it kind of just happens, bro. It's like you're in the headspace. You know, you're talking about God. You know, you're talking about like all these big theological questions.
So
and, you know,
I need you to be honest with me as your big brother. Are
Sure.
you doing this whole Pelas thing as a way to get with women?
No. What?
Okay. I just,
What?
I
You
just,
think so little of me? What?
no.
I
I'm just,
explicitly rebuked her 10 seconds ago.
I'm just.
What? How'd that be
I'm
the
just-
worst plan?
Yeah, but then you also got a private meeting. I'm just saying, like, I just wanted to know, like, if, like, are you like, are we haven't
I've
really
heard.
talked about
I've
it
heard.
before. Are you like, you're being like, you're like totally for real into this Pelas thing.
A god
I know
is
you
speaking
like
to me
have the
through a
powers
weapon.
and whatever.
Wait,
but,
wait,
like,
wait.
do
A
you
god
actually
is speaking
believe?
to me through a weapon and is giving me powers, and you
Well,
expect me to
so
go,
you
well, this
say.
is bullshit.
Please take your word for it, but like, I believe that you believe it.
I
Really,
have
we should stab
literal
him.
Evidence. I have
What?
healed the wounds.
That's
of
what I'm
people.
saying. Like, you got the powers, so that's awesome. But
Show him the might of
do
Pellis.
you- do
Stab him
you
in the hand.
individually- Do you, the person, like believe? Do you like fully?
Yes.
This is like
Yeah.
your faith.
Stab him.
Yes.
Stab him
You're
now.
not just using it to get the powers.
No.
Okay.
This is a legitimate belief of mine.
Show him the might of
That's
mighty
great.
I
Pellis.
ended a whole relationship over it.
My perspective was very different that of why it ended, but that's neither here nor there. Either way, I'm just checking in. Like, I
I'm
don't,
doing great.
I
I'm
just
doing
want to know,
fine.
like,
Honestly, compared to like being around with the journeyman, like there have been like only one human sacrifice, which already we're doing great on that front.
come back
I've
to
been in
that. But
very few fights, you know,
Yeah.
relatively. I've been stabbed 0 times, as far as I remember. No
Here's the-
threats of being buried alive in an ancient temple. Like
Mhm.
I'm doing way better now.
that's
Like
that-
the old, like the journeyman stuff, that was crazy. This is like chill.
you gotta.
That
one
Mr.
day
Wiggles
we
hates
just-
you.
One day we just gotta sit down and go through what happened that 6 months. But I'm just saying, like so when you left, you were kind of like, for lack of a better word, like lost. And then you came back, and then you just had these powers and a scraggly beard, and had all these. We're spouting all these sayings, and I
Yeah.
just feel like we've never gotten to talk about like,
Well-
yeah, but what do you actually believe? And like, if this is what you want to do, if this is like you're fully investing yourself into this, I'll support you, or I do support you.
Yeah,
I support you no
100%.
matter
No,
what.
I
I just wanted to know, kind of.
Yeah, I'm into this stuff. This is
Okay.
like it's about sacrifice.
So the
It's about
powers are
beauty.
like a side benefit.
It's a
of it.
side. I wouldn't call it a benefit. I'd say it's a way
byproduct.
through which I must profess the faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whenever they're building the what's the word that they keep, the P word that they call it, the Parthenon
Parsonage? That's where you
Yes.
guys live.
Wait, I thought that was the name of the church.
No, it's
No,
the church.
I thought we just called the house the house.
No, that's the parsonage. I live in the church, or will be
That's-
living in the church once
that's
it's fixed up and I have a
silly.
bedroom in there.
Okay. Well, anyway, all that was to say, if you need, when you need hands for
Sure.
the building the church thing, like hit me up.
Well, I need them when we get back.
I'll help you out.
Although I'm paying these people very handsomely for their services.
That's another thing. Are we paying
No,
them,
I'm
or
paying.
are you
This is
paying
a,
them?
this is a me thing. This is a me thing.
Where? I'm not gonna question.
I saved up my gold.
Like, I can't have you going into debt. Like,
It's not debt.
I'll
This
get
is
in
I
trouble
have the
if you
money.
go into
There's
debt.
no debt. There is no debt. Also, the concept of I don't really know how they'd call back a debt on me.
They'll
Like,
kick
what
your
would
ass.
they do? Oh yeah, I'd like to see them try.
Well, I don't think they
Trip,
would,
trip,
but they
you know.
would like make it'd be a whole thing. Let's just avoid this. Anyway,
I'm not
I just
gonna
wanted to
be
check in about
I'm good.
this is like for real. This is like who you are now.
Yes.
Because you just left, and then 6 months later, this is who you
I
are.
had this
and
stuff before, man.
as
Like, I
somebody
was
who's
like
known
believing
you
in
the
this stuff
longest,
before.
I was just wanting to, I'm a little disarmed by it.
I believed
If
in
I'm-
this stuff before. We spoke about it at the academy.
Not really, though. You just kind of started one day, and we never really.
Yeah, because so
talked
my
about
weapon
it.
started talking to me, right? And
So
it revealed to me.
that's like for real. That it's
Yes.
like
It's
okay.
been telling me to stab you because you
We
keep
just
being
thought
very
it was like
blasphemous.
an imaginary friend situation.
No, it's real.
Imaginary
It's
friend.
tangential.
There's a voice in your weapon.
There's
You're not
yeah, it
fucking
speaks
with
to
me.
I'm not fuck. How are you surprised by you had a halo break out of your skull, and you're like, how is this weapon talking to you? Let's talk about that, Mr. Angel Boy.
That's a good.
Okay, are you
I
the
don't
angel?
know.
Is
Maybe.
this like are you
What
the
if
are you
I'm
the
your?
reborn?
What if I'm
Maybe
a
he's back.
descendant of your god? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Maybe you're back alive.
What if I
then-
have some
But then
Mr.
I would also be a descendant of your god because we're brothers. But also, maybe you're like the reincarnation or something.
of
Maybe you
Pelas?
thought of that?
Well, maybe you should worship me a little bit, and
No.
maybe you should carry some of my stuff.
No, if that ends up being
Maybe-
the truth, I'm throwing this partisan in the fucking ocean, okay, and I'm walking the other way. You know?
Man, you're maybe I don't know. We are kind
Dude,
of petty.
imagine you saw your god get the shit beat out of him by
I don't have one of those.
Braggart
No
or
one
whatever.
does. They're all dead.
That's the point! That's why because you want him to come back, so you gotta be like,
Hurting
please
my
come
head.
back, and then he comes back.
But the whole
If you
point
do
of
enough
school was that they
sacrifice.
aren't coming back. But now with the stone, who knows? With the stones, maybe they're all. You're right. You're totally right about like weird shit's been happening. So I have I have no ground to stand on as
See?
far as like weird shit. I take it back.
You're
But
doing great, big
I just wanted to ask you about your feelings about it
Thank
rather
you.
than your beliefs.
Yes, they're
and-
both there.
Yes, I have a halo. We should probably. I don't know how to make it come back. If I can,
You probably shouldn't. Last time I heard they tried to stab you.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
It like came in a moment of crisis.
Maybe your
Ooh,
brother
Let's get you another moment of crisis.
is a demon.
What's a moment of crisis?
He's
Well,
a demon,
the-
and he's
the
faking
fucking-
being an
the
angel.
stones
He spits
exploding
on the memory of
villages is
Pellis.
a pretty big crisis.
He's not a demon. Look at him.
Who?
He got
Are
the
you-
shit beat out of him by the fucking bugbear or whatever thing. It's not a demon.
So it's talking to you right now.
Yeah, it's saying you're a demon. 'Cause you're faking it. I say it's bullshit.
What does it sound like?
It's like, I don't know, it has a deep voice. Ooh, maybe that's what I'm channeling. I'm trying to be cool. You know. I'm pretty sure.
Where did
I'm
you
pretty
get
sure,
the partisan? I don't think I ever.
hmm?
You just
Oh, in the
we went
academy,
to
I
weapons
found
class
it.
one day, and you just had a thing, and
I
you
found
ki-
it.
It was
They
just
were-
laying around in the
It
school.
was the weapon no one wanted because everybody thought it was shit.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
But then I was like, ooh, it's mine. And it can grow and become smaller at will for mechanical reasons.
Getting wood for pellets.
Good one. So, well, all right. I just want, I love you.
I love you too, big guy.
Sanctus
You
Pellus.
okay, by the way, you looked a little fucked up earlier.
That was not. I had that guy.
I believe you.
Fucking.
I believe you.
That's
I'm
not her
gonna be
fault
real.
either.
I think we need to sit down with
said it
Alice.
was. I said
I
it was
think we
okay.
just bound you
need
to sit down with Alice and have a
come up
conversation
with some signals.
about
but-
how making us nauseous is perhaps
I haven't
counterintuitive
thrown
to
up in
our
like 2
goals as a
years.
group.
That was crazy. And it was
Like,
like a lot. It was like I thought I was gonna like pass out. It was
Yeah,
like
it's-
nothing was coming out.
yeah.
At you.
See, that's why the kids thought I was cool because I was like keeping a cold stone face and I was like nauseated. Anyway, I think it's sleep time for all of us. I think we
well,
had a
you
long
woke me
day.
up with getting hit on, which is not your fault, but that's why I wanted to talk.
Who got hit on?
You did.
Oh,
but
Yeah, well, you know.
I was
she's
trying to
cute.
sleep, but
I mean,
then you
she's
went on
cute.
your- you
She's super
started
cute. I'm just
preaching.
kind of in a
She's-
space right now.
She's. It's weird. It's 12 years is weird.
Ah,
She's in her 30s, so it could be
She
more.
might be double your age, actually. Don't ooh at that. That's weird. Look, I know the village is full of like
We'll think
cousins
about
or whatever, but like maybe
well, she's pretty.
we're making progress as far as going
She's
other places.
pretty.
You might find
Okay,
some.
whatever.
And then now it's kind of an ethical thing because she's coming to you for religious advice. So
Oh, that's a good point.
yeah,
I
so
don't wanna
maybe-
start a
maybe
sex cult.
definitely not now.
That's wrong.
Uh,
I mean,
But
if I
hey.
could separate, like, you could have the same faith as someone else, but if I'm in a position of power, yeah, that's not great.
Anyway, what do you think everything's gonna be okay? Like this is
In
one
general?
last thing before I fall asleep. Well, with shit's like blowing up, dude. That's
I think
crazy.
we're going to likely. Well, I said it earlier. Like realistically, sorry, the voice keeps switching. Realistically,
And
I
you
think
gotta
we're gonna have
lock
to
that down.
probably get used to not having angel stones around. And we're gonna have to get rid of our angel stone, and we're gonna have to build big walls and big castles and go back to the way things used to be, which is a lot of violence.
That's kind of scary. I mean, I don't really know how to function without the peace of mind of knowing that, we're not gonna get
World is a
raided by
dark
monsters
place.
at any second.
Good thing is we have magic and powers, so we can stab them.
Yeah, but they
yeah.
don't.
Well, we can teach them.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. Hopefully
And hey,
it'll work out.
Monsters don't really show up. They don't like reproduce that often as much. You know, you can kind of just cull them.
I don't want to think about monster fucking before bed.
Well, I have sweet dreams. And he's gonna be fine with
Or roll over. I just give you like a fist bump and then roll over.
Okay. On that note,
Had to do a Big Brother check-in.
we'll flip over to the morning. You guys turn that on in late afternoon, early evening. So you still have plenty of time underneath the protection field.
For wood cutting.
Yeah, I mean the wood cutter doesn't. The field doesn't cover where you're doing the wood cutting, but like everyone feels a little bit better knowing that if something does show up, all you gotta do is run into the cover and you're safe. So the day goes pretty good, no problems, and you are able to get everything. So it'll be one more night in the wild.
Just for funsies.
And then tomorrow you'll drag all the wood back with your ox and everything else.
Dominic continues to be terrible at cutting wood.
Hey, How many of you have a bonus at all to profession woodcutting?
Sorry, I used my skills usefully.
To be fair, I don't. I have not been doing any wood cutting. I've just been doing nerd shit.
All I see is
on
you
the
sitting
side.
on your ass.
All right.
Excuse me, I wrote the
you.
letter, and I've been
Not
keeping
you.
a watch
You're
out
doing
the whole
helpful things.
goddamn
I'm
time.
only talking to the people complaining.
Have you sent the letter?
They would have sent it that second day when
Okay.
they had all talked about it. Like they would have been drafting it that second, so before the fight.
All right, so it's
so they
gone.
would have sent it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it like turns into a bird and just.
Well, like
flops
the token turns into a bird, and like it just carries the message. So it's just like, boom, boom.
Okay.
All right, birdie, be gone.
All right, back to the village. It takes most of the day to get back to the
gist of
village.
what's in it.
Even though it's not that far because you're dragging a ton of tree trunks across rough terrain and everything else. You gotta stop. You gotta reposition. Dominic is super helpful here many times, where he'll just rage and grow in size and move shit. And then Ox and Ox are just like. But Borum, of course, has bamped out, so nobody can talk to Ox and Ox. All right, and that afternoon, you guys get back to Good Hope. You stack the lumber outside the parsonage. We'll move over, or Sarnan's like, once we get it milled, we'll move it over, or your portion over to the church. Me and the boys will be back tomorrow to start milling.
Perfect.
All right. What do y'all want to do?
So you've got basically a day to burn.
You got as much time as you want to burn. You guys are back at the village. They're going to start milling lumber tomorrow. So that's going to take a couple days to mill all this down. They're like useful lumber.
Do we want to go drinking and like talk to people of the town? I feel like we haven't really been building a community here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
I
we
feel
also
like
have
we
to
haven't
still
been really
talk.
building a community here.
Well, we still also have to talk to Belinda about, well, fucking everything.
Yeah,
Oh
follow
yeah,
up on
that's
that
true.
thing that we
That too.
figured out.
Which also, along with that, for you specifically, Damien, the rest, I mean, Borm's not here at the moment, and he wasn't here when we got it either, but the rest of us have the memory of the original fall of the Celestial Palace. Do you want me to share that with you?
Are you gonna be in? Wait, am I in your brain or you're in my brain?
I'd be giving something to you, and
Okay, that's cool then.
Alright.
Hello?
Do you want it right now?
Sure.
Yeah, I
He's
guess.
gonna sit crisscross
I'll
applesauce.
just
What?
kind of
Yeah?
Yeah.
find something to do.
He'll sit crisscross applesauce. Okay. I'm ready.
Alright. Alright, so they're gonna cast Share Memory and share the memory of the fall of the Celestial Palace with Damien. So do I have to make a will save against my own spell to not fuck it up, or is it just because it's my spell I don't have to worry about it?
It was because the last spell was Detect Thoughts.
No, it was Share Memory.
Was it Share Memory?
Share memory, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. You're
Yeah, no, I learned Share Memory because it's a level 2 slot.
okay. Yeah, give me a will save.
What is
Okay,
it
do I
you
get
need?
to use my Void Awareness then?
Yeah.
Because it's a spell. Alright. Jesus. Fuck.
If I remember correctly, the
Alright.
DC on this is very low. Just
So
that
reminder
Eric
to
rolled a
call
one.
It's a DC 17.
Remember to call out.
No.
your,
The DC to avoid sharing what you don't want to share is really low. Eric rolled a one.
Remember to
True.
call out your rolls, just because I don't think we're
Yeah.
sharing the map today.
Oh, we're not. You're right.
Or at least not yet.
Oh yeah, no, I'll
We
call
could
out
if we
the
wanted
roll.
to, but
Yeah, you don't have
I
any
got a
trouble
20.
controlling what you share.
wow, the beauty of what
Alright.
Sanctus
So
Palace
basically,
just
you
rolled.
get led to a filing cabinet in their brain, and they just kind of pull out the memory, and it just kind of opens in front of you.
Whoa, Sanctus Palace is kind of a badass for everything he did for us. It's kind of sick. Kind of shot the whole palace down onto humanity. That's kind of cool.
You just,
Well, yeah, I just figured it'd probably be a good thing for you to see, because one, that's your whole shtick, and you seem to be better in tune. If not necessarily the verbiage, just kind of understanding it at its most base.
Yeah, well, from my understanding, we're fucked. And this tells me we're big fucked. So, that's my conclusion. But we have each other.
Yeah.
There's
Power
a big
friendship.
thumbs up to everyone.
Yes.
Master, friendship is magic.
Friendship is magic. I had these little toys growing up. These little horsies. I was a big fan.
All right, so are you guys going drinking? You're going to talk to Belinda? You're doing what?
Let's talk to Bedelinda and then get a drink.
what is your reaction once you come out of the share memory?
Oh, yeah, we're fucked.
There's
Yeah, there's
big
bombs.
fucks, right?
Yeah. I think we should grab the Angel Stone and chuck it as far as we can, but I think we need to train these people to not die first.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I
you know,
included in the
produce
letter
it.
that, like, part of our plan was to, like, train them how to train anyone who is able and willing to fight. If
It's
we
probably
can
the smart move.
well, I mean, Alice has a plan for that. I think she was saying. You mentioned.
Yep, I've got an idea and I've been tinkering with it. It's nice to be back in the village because I need to do some things with some soil. But I think that we're going to have a way to get the rock out. I need a couple more weeks, maybe
Great.
10 days or so.
Nice. Well, but like also, it's one thing to swing a sword, but it's another thing to be as strong as us. Like just it's gonna take more than just like weapons training. We have to teach them how to survive without the protections.
Big walls.
And then
Yeah, I think the people of Good Hope are actually more equipped than most other villages because they did
Yeah.
have to survive on their own
that's probably
for
you're right.
57 years without people like us.
That's
So
true.
if they have people like us and then don't have the Angel Stone, they're already used to adversity and struggling. So I think
Yeah. It's already a little
they
bit
are
of a head start.
best equipped.
All right.
I don't know. Let's go hit up Miss B.
All right, so you guys walk across town square to the 2-bedroom above, shop below, house above, building that serves as town hall. As you come in, there's no one downstairs. But then the bell that's above the door, like when somebody opens it, still goes off, and you hear like a muffled, "I'll be right down."
She's always doing something whenever we come.
It's almost like she's the mayor of this village.
I mean, she's pretty much in charge. She's
I
got a
feel
lot
like
going on.
we always catch her like at a bad time. Like I feel like we're interrupting like her private time.
I don't think
or
she
like,
has none bad times.
It's our on-the adventurers. I hear you had some fun out there in the woods.
You could say that.
But you brought my
lots of
sword on
fun.
back safe and sound. I was just up talking to him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is a little bit closer than we'd like. A bit closer of a call, but we got it done.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was fine.
Uh,
I understand
just
you
need
saved
to-
all the villagers there, Mr. Damien.
Yeah.
we just
did my
need to
best.
keep in mind that not everyone is as tough. Not everybody can take as many hits as us.
If you don't mind me asking, what brings you in? Because I haven't seen my husband in 4 days, and I was just seeing him. Not like
So-
that, Miss
Our
Faraday.
plan.
Like cuddles.
Yeah, but anyway, so we
Have to wait
definitely
for the
want you
kids to go to bed.
Definitely want you to get back to that and have all that time, and we won't interrupt anymore. But we you, Allison Verity, what was it that we had a realization about maybe something that we could learn about the stones, and we need access to information. What was the things that you were wanting to look for?
Well, I think I thought, or are we? I think we should just like full level with her first, should we not?
Yeah, I think that's a smart thing.
So
Um,
basically, what happened with the long night
Oh, I think I need a drink for this.
I thought
will.
we were still in like theory mode, right? Are we confirming, or is this what we're like saying? This is.
I mean, I think we should
I
say what our
believe-
main theory is.
Yeah, our primary
Okay.
theory is that this will happen again,
Yeah, I definitely
And-
need a drink for this.
and
She
potentially
opens up her
to
drawer,
a
pulls out a bottle, and
disastrous effect, and we believe we should start. Yeah, fair. Start fortifying the town and training the townspeople to be able to live without it. Ms. Kratskian is looking for ways to potentially remove it, so we can get it out should it appear like it's gonna go off.
that's suicide.
No, it's not. You can build walls and like train people to stab things with spears.
And who's going to guard these walls?
Your
trained
citizens,
archers.
And who's going to train the archers?
us.
I think us.
And who's going to be minding the fields while they're winding the walls?
Some of them. This is the reality of a world
have to-
post Angels.
You have to set up rotations, like group them off. Like, it's foolish that the guild did not try to really establish any alternate means sooner on a widespread scale. We do think that this town is more optimized for this sort of thing because you do have a higher population than most towns. And
Yeah, so
you
that's
know
more
what it's
mouths
like-
to feed.
Yeah,
and you
but
know what
it's
it's like to be left on your own.
With
So
the Angel Stone.
but the more people you have, the more you can have in the militia versus the because it's farmers are able to produce more effectively. This is I read a book about it.
Look,
You'll be better off than other places because if you have more mouths to feed, every farmer produces more food than one person. So or
Belinda,
more food than one person. Plus, you can have more farmland because you don't have to restrict yourself to only Angel Stone radius. So actually, you can produce way more food if the Angel Stone is.
we
is
don't
gone.
really need to get into the logistics right now, but here's the thing: we have it on pretty good authority that this explosion situation with the Angel Stones is not a one-off, and that Good Hope is in we don't know how imminent, but very much in danger. And yes, like you said, it is, it's going to be extremely hard to
And
change the entire way we live,
there have
but it's better than the
been-
village blowing up.
facts.
I don't want to sound rude when I say this, but yon are all children.
Yeah.
And
We
I've
know.
been here.
know.
You've been here for 2 months, a month? I mean, and now you're telling me that the way that this village has operated for 957 years is going to have to change.
Possibly, yeah.
People who have never known anything but safety and peace are now going to have to become soldiers and defend a wall.
This
Yes.
might be.
Does anyone
it's
know
not-
how to build a wall? We don't.
Yes.
But that's the thing. We have to.
I have some carpentry.
We don't really have a choice, and this is.
There's a mighty big difference between building a wall and building a cabinet there, Mr. Seastrike.
We have.
Well- Better learn quick.
We have it on pretty good information also that it's very possible that this is not just restricted to Good Hope or Pine Harbor, this area. It might be everywhere. Like the whole world might be going through this.
Like the portals last we were able to check them, were still down. We have had no communication. We cannot necessarily depend that we will get any communication in return.
And while we are
I was able to send a letter out informing the situation as best we are aware of it with our research, and I am hoping to hear something in return. But this proves, even if it doesn't happen again, that we cannot trust it, and to have relied upon this one thing without questioning it has put us...
Well, how long, Mrs. Felice, do we go before we think we can trust something that's been 957 years without a problem?
Well,
50 years the guild left us with no one to protect us, but we're still here because of that stone. And now you're here for 2 months and you're saying, we must get rid of the stone, protect us.
The
or
stones
trust
have never
us.
blown up before.
Trust us, and it's not... I'm
This is-
sorry,
I
this
know-
is
I
a
know
lot
it-
to
I know
take
it
in.
would sound-
And I'm
I know
not
it's a lot,
saying
and
that I
I
don't
know-
trust you. But you're
I'm so
asking us to
very
turn
sorry.
over our whole way of life. Something that not only have we only ever known, but generations. Going back almost to the beginning of the cataclysm.
We understand.
Oh, actually, the end of the cataclysm.
Well, thank you. Yes, but
It's just, I don't want what those children experienced to happen here.
Oh, definitely no demonic possessions. Those are not cool.
That is what I am seeking to the implosion.
I mean,
I don't want that to happen to
That
them
is what
either.
I'm seeking to avoid. I don't
And
want...
it will be even worse when a
don't want
bunch
you
of
to
monsters
suffer.
come
And I
through and
would-
take us all. Because we don't have the stone to protect us.
I mean, it can't really protect you if it implodes and we're all fucking dead.
How do you know that our stone's going to implode? Pine Harbor's only been there for 600 years. Maybe it was something with the newer ones. Maybe because we have an older stone. Like,
do you
ours
know
is
that
better
for a
quality.
fact? Do you know that for a fact? 600 years,
Well, I don't.
like roughly.
We don't have enough information. We will keep looking for more.
Roughly, yeah.
It's just a working
roughly.
theory, so we should start preparing it, but there's no reason to believe that this will
Like,
happen.
we're not going to just take it out right away. We are going to take it out if shit gets fucked again.
It warmed up
needs
the
to
other
be an
night,
option.
We want to prepare regardless.
and then it stopped. How do we know if it warms up again that it's going to explode? How do we know that if we're not...
You mentioned that you had an idea of how old Pine Harbor is, and this is very much attached to our hypothesis about
You
how
said
this is going.
around 600.
Yeah, 600 years ago for Pine Harbor. So
Right, it was a
said-
newer stone. Maybe it was a problem with the newer stones.
And you
We have
said
one of the
your hope
originals.
was about 950. You said.
Yes.
Yeah, this is very important information for us because we're building a theory about how you
The age, and maybe
yes,
the
of
way
course,
the
of course.
maybe the way the ceremony to meld it changed.
If Good Hope is older than Pine Harbor,
That's interesting.
we'll need
Do
to.
you have records on it?
That would be very useful.
This whole downstairs. I mean, do you think that like yon back room is just empty collecting dust? No, it's all records.
That's the main reason we
Well,
came
we know
here
it's
today.
there.
Like,
I just wasn't sure what exactly there was.
So
'Cause
I
that's
mean,
what we
understand that
some of
you
it's
have
quite
every
old,
right
but-
to be stressed and overwhelmed, and we're not here to really dissuade you of that. We're just telling you what we know, and we are sorry to be the bearers of bad news. But the change seems to be coming, whether we like it or not, or whether we're prepared or not. So we
And-
want to be on the side of prepared.
And we are well aware that we are little more than children. But
I'm sorry I called
we're
you
wa-
that.
I'm not offended by it. I feel very much out of my depth. I am personally quite terrified, but I am trying to do this job as best I can, and I know my friends here are doing the same thing. But I don't want to see what happened at Pine Harbor happen here.
And to our knowledge, we might be the only people who know about this. Like, we don't know if any of the higher ups in the guild know that this is possible. So we're everything we're learning is new to us. There's no training for this because, like you said, the village has stood for almost 1,000 years, and your way of life has been untouched for that long. So this is everything is going to change. and we just want to best prepare the village of Good Hope, to who we've been assigned to protect, is ready for those changes.
I don't think we'll ever be ready.
No, you won't.
Everything that we've known, our grandfathers know, our ancestors at this point, gone,
Yeah.
is what you're
But that's,
saying.
we're going to need your help in getting people to work with us and cooperate when that time comes. Because,
If that time comes.
well,
Well,
If we're wrong, then history will mark us as fools.
yeah.
And
Hopefully
if
we're wrong.
we're right and we did nothing, then history will mark us as monsters.
History won't remember
No,
us.
issue
if
will
we
Marcus is
do nothing.
exploded.
I mean, monsters
Maybe
can
it
have history. I don't know what
I,
it is.
Many
I like
pieces.
Alice's version. It had a nice ring to it.
I wish I fucking hope we're wrong. I would
if we're
much
going to
rather-
build walls, we need to do it before the stone goes down.
Mhm.
Yes.
Agreed.
I've done some. We've gone around the borders before. There has been some degradation in the boundary as it stands already, and we did like mark that off. We haven't been able to check it. We should check it again to see if it's like changed at all.
Gods. I'm going to ask you to keep this to yourselves
Understood.
for the next couple of days while I think about how to do this. Are any of you trained as soldiers, I guess?
For lack of, more or less, we
That's
can
kind
fight.
of what we like
can use
in
any
different
type of weapon.
things.
We can teach people what we know.
Oh, there's a big
I can
difference
try
between...
and teach people magic, but I don't know how well that would come across.
There's a big difference between teaching people to fight one-on-one like Jan and another to fighting as a group.
That's what I'm saying. We'll give them everything that we're capable of teaching, and anything that we can teach ourselves, and then teach them.
I have an idea too. We can advertise it as trying to reclaim more of the land around the village outside the Angel Stone, so we can get more resources, and that's why we're training people to fight, so that like that week they can safely go out and collect resources.
They're gone. They'll be back. It's
Of
fine.
course.
But it's it's gonna be incredibly hard, and people are probably going to die, and the adjustment period is going to take a long time, and people will reject it. Some people will be thrilled, but all we can do is protect people the best we can, and if they are working with us instead of against us, that's really the best we can hope for. But we're here until this village is safe.
Who's going to be trained, do you think? You're not thinking all the old graybeards sitting around are going to
No,
be carrying
I mean,
a sword? And how are we going to get enough weapons to arm everyone?
Make them.
we're working on that, but yes, make them is kind of the sustainable method.
I'm not even certain if Bruner could do that.
Well, the good thing is that this doesn't have to happen overnight. But
His father used to make weapons too. I don't know if his father thought it was worth teaching him. And
where was his father from?
his father was a guild member
Oh,
who retired to the village, raised himself and his brother, young child. I didn't know him. He was
Was there
did-
any?
where does Bruno get his materials from?
from the mine. We have a couple of our boys
The
that mine here in town. I mean, materials aren't the problem. It's just knowledge of how to make a yarn weapon. I guess like a sword's just a big knife, and Bruno does good knives, but
Oh, hey, you're back.
Swords are a lot more than a big knife.
And swinging
I
them
don't-
is
I don't-
Oh, you're
even
back.
harder.
But yeah, it's a lot more than a big knife. Maybe we could find someone. Maybe there's like a
Yeah.
lizard guy who wants to help.
Well, maybe in our explorations we can keep an eye out for either materials that could help produce weapons, or maybe we'll meet somebody who can make them, or weapons caches even, and we'll bring back what we can.
You know for a
I
fact
hope
that the lizard folk, by the way, don't have anyone that can work metal because they asked for metal tools as a trade good.
hopefully, we can make contact with the guild again, but we can't count on
Driscoll
that.
is Driscoll could maybe we could ask him to help train like people to shoot.
That's true. Driscoll's an archer.
I mean, all the boys know how to use the bow.
That's already good. Bows are
But
really, really useful.
he's got a lot more experience
Right.
because he's older.
Or a boar spear. I mean, I guess we could line them all up with boar spears and I don't know. I don't.
Like
Yeah,
what we,
that's
I'm
that's
gonna-
neither here nor there for right now. But
like archers are super useful though, because me and Dominic can kind of just step
Yeah.
in the way and stop them from getting to the archers, and the
we
archers can pepper them.
we will need to train people as archers. That's for sure, especially if
And
as far as
spears.
the walls are concerned. But
Swords
for
are kind
now,
of useless, but
For
spears are
today,
useful.
though,
And
we'll let you process this, but we do need access to the records if that's all right.
Well, of course, you can have access to the records anytime you want. Just please try to be quiet and
Yeah, we don't want to.
ignore any noises.
we'll put things back as best as we can as well.
All right.
Thank you for hearing.
Fuck,
us
you just ruined my night. All I've been thinking about.
I'm sorry.
Better I know than not.
Yeah, that's the job,
out.
unfortunately.
You're doing great. Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else
know,
I
The
can
bright
do
side,
for you?
we're here to help.
We know it's not easy having to be responsible for all these people. But,
It was a lot easier when I was
Before the
arguing
world
about
was-
bulls jumping fences.
and before the world was
Really,
ending.
that was way harder. I'd rather stab something.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
confused.
that was weirdly
They really
hard.
didn't like
Actually,
each other, and I thought the solution was a duo, which I think made sense. But everyone said I was crazy. It's a lot easier to stab spiders. I
What?
think you
No.
have the harder job. I'll be honest. I think we have the
Um,
easy one. Just kind of kill things.
so we can definitely teach people how to do that. But anyway,
Great at killing things.
let's go. Let's leave you to process all of this and enjoy the rest of your day if you can, and we'll go read.
Yes, reading. That sounds very relaxing. I would love to read.
As she
And
walks up the stairs, she's kind of talking to herself. She's like, we're going to need a committee of public safety. That's what we're going to need. Yeah.
A committee.
okay, so
I think
go
it's called
to where
committee.
these archives are.
All right, a language I can fucking speak. Books.
Oh, we need
Files.
something of the beginning, founding, something like that of Good Hope.
So what's in here are logbooks.
Oh, okay, that's helpful.
And Belinda's many things, but she's organized. So it starts with year one, and then there's probably,
You said 957.
yeah, I mean, there's got to be over 1,000 books in here. Some years are more eventful than others.
Are they alphabetized?
They're annualized. So like
All right.
first
Yeah.
year, and then like,
With, like,
year
volume?
1.5, or like year one,
Year
2.
1, Volume 1.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna reach up in what I assume is the upper left corner. For,
Yeah, there's like
year
they're
one
pretty
volume
nice
one.
shelves in here, and they look pretty new. Like Sardan just recently rebuilt the shelves in here for her, and now I'm stuck in the voice.
It's tough, isn't it?
So okay, so year one, this book is super dusty. Give
Here, let
me.
me begin to read it.
Yeah, no, actually, it'd be less likely. All right. When you open it up, you have to be super careful because the age of this is just enough to like turn it to dust.
I hand it to Verity.
All right.
You can tell that someone has come through several times in the past. The only reason this book isn't dust is that it seems like every couple of years someone comes through and casts mending on these, and like restores them.
But it's been like 57 years.
So actually, it has not.
Someone else knows mending.
But it looks actually like beyond how dusty it is, it looks like it's been cast enough that this book is in good non-crumbly shape, just covered in dust. Like someone is essentially going through, touching each book to cast mending, but not like pulling it down.
Opening them up.
Yeah.
What do my little wizard eyes see?
You see very cramped handwriting. That is like Harvest 1, Year 1 of post guild contact. The guild came and installed the Angel Stone today, and more importantly, brought our order for several notebooks. I have missed these since the fall and lost all my previous records and my father's records. I am very excited for what the future brings to us. And it kind of just trails off, into talk about early days of the guild and how, like, after their whole life of being worried, and how, like, they've lost over the last 50 years since the cataclysm, they've lost probably about a third of their people to attacks and monsters and everything. And the thought that not only will him, but his children be safe, and that they will have someone to, like, keep contact with the guild. Super exciting. Very optimistic, positive note.
Do we have an exact date of how many years, or like what year this was?
You can kind of back
It's the
into
first
it.
Yeah.
Because it's the first year, and if you look around at the books, there's 956. Volume 3
Is the most recent one.
is the most recent one here in the archives.
Okay. So squiggly line 956.
So 957 would be what Belinda would have in her office right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 1,000 years.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, it's been 1,000
Verity
years since the
get
cataclysm.
feeling that this is gonna be like a whole process trying to find what they want to find.
Well, what exactly are you looking for?
Is there more information about, like, the moment
like-
where they met the guild members who put in the stone, like, and
Yeah.
who they were, how they put the stone in?
No.
Okay. So, I guess other years that Verity would want to look at would be around when Pine Harbor was formed, and then maybe when the last group of adventurers disappeared.
All right. Give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Just a flat roll.
Yeah, and anyone can help her.
Can I aid?
Oh,
And I need a
You
10,
can.
right?
Well, you can't aid on this, but you can try it yourself.
okay.
I'm not gonna
I-
try.
I got a 10.
It's
What?
not
Why not?
realistic.
This is an ability check. This feels important. I'm
trying
gonna
to just, like,
use Inspired on it, so I'm gonna roll twice.
I'm counting on my fingers.
I'm going to drink
22?
my smart juice and see
Smart
what I
juice.
can do.
I took this role
22 as
very
well.
seriously. Okay, so you
Nerd team.
knowing that you have a very vague number to look at, like you, Verity and Alice kind of split into a team or like in there and kind of search algorithm their way through the years. Like each of you start like 25 years back, then cut it in half until you see like a mention of Pine Harbor, and then like shrink that in half until you find the book where Pine Harbor is being founded. The first entry is along the lines of Journeyman Brun came through today and gave us the latest news that they will be opening a new town near us. So it'd be nice to have some trade between the two. They're doing it on the far side from the portal, down on the old lake that I've never seen but heard of. So fish. That will be interesting. I've never had it, but I hear it's really good. I'm be honest, Journal here, that I'm so sick of the food from the pub. I need to find a wife who can cook for me, because how much can I eat rhubarb stew every night? We'll be seeing more adventures through here, and just tradesmen. We're going to be a stopping over point for all of the people that will be coming in until they have the Angel Stone in Pine Harbor. I hope they like rhubarb stew, because that's all there is. I don't know how you become an innkeeper and don't learn to cook. Like,
They're really going in on this.
his mother was such a good cook, and now it's just the same thing every day. God, I miss that woman. I need to find a wife.
This dude should have learned to cook for him fucking self.
Interesting days ahead. All right, and then you kind of skim through from a couple months later. And Wen said yes. Seems like Pine Harbor is going to have one less, and God, can that woman cook. So we'll be married next week.
Guess he knows what he wants.
I got an 18 if that helps at all.
600-year-old drama. You know, I didn't think it'd be as good as it is, Al.
This is a little bit almost like a diary. It's almost a chronicle.
I know, like, why did all these people just like use it to write the like? I mean, I'm loving the drama, but also, but at the same time, it's not giving us what we're looking for. Not that I
Is that
expected
really
it
all
to.
that they wrote? That's like 3 pages in a row of just the stew thing.
The recipes.
They always
I mean,
take.
it sounds
I don't
like a
want to
good
hear the whole story. Like, just get to the recipe. You know.
Journeyman Bren and our adventurers and the new adventurers for Pine Harbor will leave tomorrow to escort the people to Pine Harbor and the ceremony to put it in. They have invited me along, and I think I'll take Wen with me. And perhaps I'll have the journeyman marry us. Old church is just falling apart. We haven't had someone there, and don't even know why we have it. I'm going to make a note
Oh, hey,
to have
that's
it
mine.
destroyed.
Hey, good thing you didn't.
Because the gods are dead. Why do we need a church?
Because they'll come back.
You could use it for something else. You don't gotta like tear it down.
It's a stone building too. Like stone buildings
Yeah,
are
it's-
very sturdy.
You have to like go out of your way to tear it down.
Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this person. There seems to be more to this story.
What does he say about seeing the angel stone put in?
Okay, so 2 entries later, I watched the guild put in the entries or Angel Stone in Good Hope. I read Bach to when it happened for Good Hope, but apparently we didn't have any journals then, and so my great grandfather didn't record the actual ceremony. I'll be honest, it was rather mundane. I mean, it was kind of cool to see the pillar grow from the earth and around the stone as the guildmaster held it in his hands, but I expected, I don't know, a flash of light or something, and it was just dirt. But Ren made fish stew today. It was superb. God, can that woman cook?
Was that great blip? Was there a name that's been erased, or
The great.
yeah?
The name? No, it has not been erased.
Okay. Then what was I name? I think I missed that.
I didn't say it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like conspiracy theory removed. Or...
No. I mean, none of these guys like write their names in here. They don't like sign their entries or anything, and I guess like it makes sense because like, you know, for a certain amount of time, people are gonna remember who you were, and after that, you know, it's just gonna be like your ancestor wrote this. And interesting follow-up note. That if there's one thing I am jealous of Pine Harbor for, except for maybe this soup, or having access to fish, so that I could have this fish stew every day, it's their blacksmith. Fella by the name of Preston. He can make things I've never seen anything before. Like magic. I've never seen plows sharper than what he's got there. Would be such a coup for him to come to us, but no. Pine Harbor's got him. I'll have to keep that in mind, see if we can get him to change. But I return home tomorrow.
And what's the date on that?
That is
Like, how many years ago?
Somewhere in the
Roughly.
600s, right?
yeah, it is. Hold on, I got to do the math. And that's what calculators are for, because I'm old.
I mean, I guess it's kind of nice how much the guy writes about his wife. But
It's
like,
mostly
He
better
seems
cooking.
he seems to base
Yeah.
her value and women's value in general on their cooking
yeah,
ability.
no, like I don't quite get it.
Maybe she's just that good of a cook.
Yeah, maybe she's just
So this is marked as year 598, so it'd be about 360 years earlier.
it's possible he
This is a guy
did.
named Preston.
It's possible he did move eventually. Maybe Brunor's heard of him.
So you guys
Possibly.
do some more searching. Like your little search or algorithm to see if anything comes
Curious
up.
about this Forge guy.
And you find an entry from about 40 years later. So like 5 or 632. Scored on a tremendous coup today. Ifton has been fighting with the elders of Pine Harbor and wants to move here. Rumors are he's just as skilled as his father at forging. So, already started on building a blacksmith shop here in town. He demands that he move his forge with him, which is fine with us. We don't have any way of making a forge anyway, so we'd have to rebuild it. Journeyman Bren and our adventurers are going tomorrow to escort him here.
Well,
Does it say what race this guy is?
No. But followed up by an entry 5 days later. Disaster. Along the way, back from Pine Harbor, Bren and the adventurers were attacked. The forge was taken, and several of our adventuring party here in town have been killed. Bren was taken as well.
Taken being different than killed.
Yes. Dwarves is what I heard from everyone. But as far as I know, we don't have any dwarves in the area. Perhaps they came down from the plateau, from the mountains. Either way, Iftan is a disappointment. Seems as though any magic that he or his father had was in that forge. He can produce the most mundane of items, but I wouldn't trust this dagger to cut the tension in the room.
And so the forge was in Pine Harbor?
Forge was in Pine Harbor. Along the way, Preston's son Ifton was going to move to Good Hope. Along the way, that caravan was attacked. And I say caravan loosely because it was really just like a wagon with his shit and
But
adventurers.
he was moving like the forge itself.
Yeah. It seems like the forge itself was the magic part.
Correct.
Yeah, but the forge would be back underwater.
No, the forge was kidnapped.
It was stolen.
No?
Yes.
Along with
I guess
one
I'm
of the-
picturing a forge as something you can't just pick up and take with you, but
No.
he was.
Yes.
Right.
It's probably like a magical anvil of some sort.
Okay.
It's the anvil that's magical.
Well, we've already
Well-
traveled that route, you know.
I mean, yeah, but I'm assuming they stole it from somewhere. You said something about a plateau. We could go investigate the plateau.
There's
If we
100
find whatever that forge is, we can
Yeah.
use that forge to make weapons for everyone.
Yeah. Well, we need that forge, but this is hundreds of years ago. It might take us probably at least if we have like a general area search.
Is Marshall breaking up for everyone, or is it just
I
me?
mean, we've definitely found it by now. You'd think.
A little bit.
Nope, just you.
Well, this might be pretty useful to trying to better protect and snaps that we do have. We need to plot a path, but that will take us out, so we'll need to allot that amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be very useful to get this stuff, and then we can hopefully use the forge. I mean, I don't know how we'd get like the materials for which to build things at the forge, but there's the mine, and I'm sure we could find some people and buy some materials off of them if we wanted to craft other things.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we found, like, when we found all that stuff at the tree,
Yeah, I'm sure we can repurpose
hang-
the stuff.
and
You know,
tree,
craft
like maybe
stuff.
stuff like that can be reworked.
yeah. Okay, I think that makes sense. I just think the main thing we need to figure out is where to go, because to me this should be pretty high up on our priorities. Because if we can't make people weapons until we have this forge, we should get this forge.
Yeah. This
Walls
seems
aren't
like
going
the
to do much good.
it seems like the only way we can make weapons at any sort of reasonable rate to
Yeah.
arm the village.